Welcome to the Yum Foam Rinseless Wash, the 10th in the series. I'm showing the Yum Foam and the Yum Rinseless. I also have 1 ounce of foam, goes to a litre of water, 35 millilitres of Rinseless into 12 litres in my sprayer, and a wash pad, which I haven't used, which I'm going to use in this wash. Just like to add that because I didn't see a PIR or anything else, I used the pan the organizer method, which is how to get perfect foam with your pump foamer, and he uses 1 ounce to 32 ounces of water, which is a litre to 30 ml. Moving along to the spraying on, I'm going to spray on the car. Obviously it goes on very well, holds very nicely once it's gone on, and I don't see any issue with that. Over a certain amount of time, you can see there's just a little bit of parting of the soap, but only a very tiny amount on the black rhino side, which once again for me is okay. Doesn't really mean anything either way. What I am obviously wanting to get is a clean enough car. It's not exceptionally dirty, but it has some dirt on. Once I've moved along from that after a couple of minutes, I'm going to come back. With my rinseless wash on a sprayer, which is my keg sprayer, or my plastic 3-gallon solo sprayer, which has a pump on. It's about 60 psi coming out. One thing I'll note is as I spray the bottom of the windows and the handles, I can easily notice that the foam is not coming out easily. Whether that's just a factor of the Yum foam, whether it's the quantity used, or whether it's the nature of using that with rinseless to wash it off with, could be a combination of everything, but it's not a good combination for me. As you can see, the whiter liquid as it sprays down is from the Yum Rinseless. Even so, I can move along to the rinseless wash. I have my gallon container and my tri-fiber wash mitt, which I've never used, and as I go over it you can just see what happens to the liquid as I go over it. It's not exceptionally dirty, and I don't think it ever would have been anyway. Just a little dirt on there. Squeeze out and just go again so I can get the rest of the door done. And once the rest of the door done and everything seems fine, because I'm washing the whole of the car, I'm going to do the front and some of the top just to get that out of the way. Might as well wash the whole car. I wasn't originally planning to do the whole car, but it just seems to be easier as you kind of make a mess on a lot more of it doing it than not doing it. After rinsing out, doesn't look too bad. I'm going to dry the car down. I got my pre-dry cloth, purple pre-dry cloth, which I like to go over the surface with to make sure that I haven't got too much water. Then I bring out the MWD towel, medium size I think it is. It doesn't get too wet once you've pre-wiped. Then I'm just wiping over to see, how does the rinseless come off. It's okay. I think it's much easier to leave rinseless on the vehicle and on the panels than not. Then I come out with a spray across. Although it is coming down, it's not coming off well, and I think that's because the rinseless itself is a little bit too soapy, is to say. But it is a surfactant base, so that is what you're going to get. So I'm going to switch up and get out my hose from the Ryobi. I'm not going to switch it on, I'm just going to use a keyed nozzle and just use purely water to come down the side and show you how the water reacts. Because I don't want an effect to be just from using the rinseless wash. So as I come down the side for DIY detail, as you can see, it comes fairly much straight off, and then as I try and do it, a sheeting side of it, it's pretty good. And then Rhino is very similar as it was. You can see it sheets a little more, but also still has beading, but certainly sheets a little more, just as it has always done so far. Possibly the nature of the product. Sheeting actually works very well because you can see it clears the panel better than the DIY detail side, believe it or not. Once I've shown both sides again, I'm then going to move on to the following side. Once, of course, I have dried the area. And once again, I'm using some of the rinseless to spray out the foam that's stuck in the handles. The only disappointing thing about this is using it at 349:1, it's still quite foamy as a rinseless, and it doesn't wash off as well because of the foamy nature of the material, which is fine. It's possibly its design being purely surfactant based. So moving back onto the foam again, foaming on the other side of the car, I'm going to go over foam it and it'll go on nicely once again. I'm then going to just start washing down from the back and the top just to get some more liquid back on it so I can wash the other side and dry again and dry off on the front. You can see very small amount of parting from the Superior products and just a tiny bit from Pan the Organizer side, but I think that's okay personally. As I move round, I'm going to move round once again from the back, just start washing down with the rinseless and washing the foam off, and as I indicate again, it doesn't seem to wash the foam off as well, whether it is adding a level or not. You can see a secondary surfactant part to the foam because it's almost 2 layers there, but it's not helped by the fact that the rinseless is either not able to wash it off, or it's a little more difficult to wash off because I'm not using a 2 GPM or a 3 GPM washer on it. That could also be the case. Could also be the case that maybe instead of 3% PIR it should have been used at a 1% PIR. But without that specific information being given out, it's a little harder to do that. So I'm just using that Pan the Organizer method to make sure that it's good foam. And of course it is good foam, but not as easy to wash off. You can certainly see how white and soapy the material is, even at 349:1 coming out. And getting the tri-fiber mitt again. Still looks fairly good. I'm actually going to go across the top and the back, and then I'm going to come across the windows, and you can tell because you can see that how the water parts as I go across it as it cleans. I do like the tri-fiber mitt. I do think it's good. It's not an exceptional soft mitt. The fibers seem a little stiffer, but as long as you have enough lubrication, it should really be fine. I thought it was fine. Once I'm through with that and everything looks good, I'm just going to quickly wash it out. Pick up, I've got about a litre left in there from what was used, and then I'm going to come back out once again with my pre-drying cloth and just wipe over the surfaces, back, the top, the hood or bonnet, and then come back over the windows and the doors just to take off a lot of the water. This will save your drying towel from getting exceptionally wet if that's a problem you have. I just do it by habit these days, especially from trying to do it in the winter, because I didn't stop in the winter. I cleaned regardless of the temperature. Anyway, after drying that, I'm going back with the WMD drying towel, coming over it. It does seem to be coming off okay, but once again, I think it's quite easy for you to miss and or leave a certain amount of the rinseless actually on the car, certainly. And this time, instead of going with the rinseless hose down, I'm just going to bring over the main water, which is a DI water, I should have said. But coming across, you can see from the pan side itself that everything looks fine, and you don't see an excess of sheeting. You see more sheeting on the Superior products, but I think that's again by design. I come across to see how it dries itself, and you can see on the pan side it's pretty quick, and on the Superior side not as quick, but it's performing the same as it was. 10 weeks in, I wouldn't expect there to be an issue. Everything is looking good, and so the next thing to do is to dry up and finish off. I think everything's running well. I lost the last bit of footage, but I don't think you need to see it fully dried. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and comment below if you want to comment. Next week we'll have a different material. Thank you very much. Goodbye.